Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Victoria, and today we're going to be doing a look and reviewing the Spanglish palette from Alamar Cosmetics. I was so excited to get this in my BoxyCharm. I have been eyeing this palette for a while now, but I hadn't gotten around to ordering it, and then I saw that Alamar Cosmetics is now available at Target, so I just figured I would pick it up when I was there, but I haven't gotten around to that either. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I did get this in my BoxyCharm and I am super happy to finally be playing with it. It does retail for $28 and you get 8 different shades. You get 4 shimmers and then 4 matte eyeshadows as well. And next to all of the names of the eyeshadows, there are little symbols that represent whether the eyeshadows are best used dry or if they're best used wet, which I think is so helpful. I think that every company should do that, because you have to sometimes figure out, oh, maybe I should use this eyeshadow wet or this is best dry. So I think it's super helpful, and it's really nice that they did include that little guide in this palette. Now, going off the name of the palette, Spanglish, all of the names of the eyeshadows are little phrases or words that people that have kind of adapted that Spanglish language in their everyday talking, I guess is the word. So for example, we have like I get you or better like, so combining just those 2 different languages, and I think that is so fun. I think it's so unique. It's a very unique part of that culture, or that combination of cultures, to highlight, and I think a palette is a really fun way to do that. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Alamar Cosmetics, it is a Latina owned brand, and the creator is actually an immigrant from Cuba, from a barrio named Alamar, which actually means stay close to the sea, and to her that means stay close to your roots, stay grounded. She believes it's important to adapt and grow and to learn new things, but also stay close and remember your roots. And on the website, they even explain how all of their products, at the center of all of their products, is complexion, and from their blushes to their lip glosses and of course their eyeshadows, everything is meant to be inclusive of all skin tones, but especially for people of color and darker complexions, which I absolutely love. I think it's so important to have that representation in the beauty industry, especially because so long everything was not very inclusive of people of color. So to be able to support a Latina owned brand is absolutely awesome, and I was so excited to do this review for you guys today. I'm gonna go ahead and show you these swatches, and then we'll get into the look and I will give my thoughts on the palette afterwards. To start off in the crease and the outer corner, and just to kind of build that transitional base, I'm going to start off with the shade Muy Excited, which is like this matte orange here. Now with a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to blend out the edges and blend it out a little bit more with the shade Ay Que Cute, which is this matte pink here. Now taking the shade Ponte Hyper, which is this bright matte pink, I'm going to use that to deepen up my crease and the outer corner, and I think I'm also going to bring it a little bit into the inner portion of my eyelid. There is a tiny bit of fallout with this shade. Now with a damp brush, I'm going to take the shade Wow. It is one of those shades that says it is best used wet. Basically all the shimmers are best used wet and all of the mattes are best used dry. So I'm just going in these two sections here. Now in the center, and also with a wet brush, I'm going to take the shade Tienes Swing, which is like this really beautiful pinky orange shimmer. And I'm just kind of blending it into that Wow shade. Going back in with Wow. Now I'm going to take this really pretty light corally orange shimmer, which is the shade Pero Like. And just on my finger, I'm going to tap that in the center. Also blending into that purple Wow shade. And then going back in with Ponte Hyper, which is that bright pink matte. Now I'm also going to take the shade Pero Like, which is that light orange shimmer, and I'm going to use that for my inner corner as well. And for that, I am also using a damp brush. Okay, and I think I am going to do a winged liner. And most of the time I do like to keep the smokiness underneath the wing, but I think today I am going to clean that up so it is a little bit more crisp. Both eyes are done, and now I'm going to go finish the rest of my face, and then I'll be back to do the lower lash line. Okay, so now for the lower lash line, I am going to take Muy Excited, and then I'm also going to take Tienes Swing. Okay, that was Muy Excited. Now I'm going to take Tienes Swing, and I am going to be using a damp brush. Going back with that same brush that I used for the Muy Excited. Just feathering it out. Alright, now I'm going to do my lashes and then we'll finish it off with the lips. Okay, so my lashes are done, and for the lips, I'm actually going to use the new Melted Matte lipstick from Too Faced, the Pumpkin Spice shade. It's like a really beautiful, like orangey coral, so I think this would be pretty perfect for this look, and it smells so good. It smells like the holidays. Okay, and I think I do want to put a gloss, and I recently got this one. This is from the new Urban Decay Stone Vibes, and this is the shade Vibes, and it's got like some pinky purple shimmer in it. And it smells like vanilla mint. And lastly, I'm just going to set my face, and I'm going to be using the Cover FX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. And this is the finished look using the new Spanglish palette from Alamar Cosmetics. I love it. I love the color story of the palette. I like how each shadow tells you whether it is best used wet or dry. I think that the organization of the palette was really well thought out. For example, you have the 4 matte shades that are best used dry on this half, then you have the shimmers on this half that are best used wet, and then you also have like the similar color story going across, the oranges and the pinks, and then like the purples and like a little bit more of the cooler tones. And then even going like this, they're very similar in their purpose and kind of like shade, I guess, if that makes sense. So these two are like the lighter shimmers, these two are the deeper ones, these are like transitional shades, and then these are kind of like for the base also slash transitional shades, but they're also like the deeper mattes. No matter how you look at this palette, it is organized really well, and I definitely appreciate that. I also love that it comes with a mirror. I think you can create some more muted looks with this, but you can also do something very dramatic, which I also really like. It does say on the back that it is perfect for a day to night, and I definitely agree. Now for some downsides. There is some fallout with the shimmers, especially if your brush isn't wet enough, and like with that shade Betel, like I used my finger, and while that gave good pigment, there was a little bit of fallout with that one as well. Now I'm gonna be honest, this was actually my second time filming a video for this palette. So the first time, after I was still kind of deciding what I wanted to do, I removed my eyeshadow to like start over, and I did notice that there was some like dye, like it kind of dyed my eyes, and I think it was this shade here, which is Ponte Hyper. It did leave a little bit of a stain on my eyelids, but that is just something that you kind of get when eyeshadows, especially like reds and pinks, they're really pigmented, which this one is. They can dye your skin. Those are my only complaints about the palette, but other than that, I love it, and I think I am gonna be using it, especially during the month of October. I think these are like perfect shades for like different Halloween looks, and of course not Halloween looks. I think these shades are really festive, but like I said, you can also create day looks as well. But above everything, my favorite thing about the palette is the meaning and the story behind it. On the back it does say, this palette is dedicated to all the multicultural reinas. May you always feel represented and glam as hell with Alamar Cosmetics. I absolutely love that. Personally, as a Chicana, I can definitely relating to two different cultures, and I love that this palette is kind of meant to represent that. I think creating a palette is a really fun way to kind of bring that representation or bring to light that group of people that have multiple cultures or relate to multiple cultures, and I absolutely just love it. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys are planning on picking this up, I personally definitely recommend it. It is something that I'm going to get a lot of use out of, but it's also something that is now close to my heart. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.